What do you do when your content ends up on the wrong side of the algorithm on TikTok, Instagram, or YouTube? We have all experienced it when we've made really good, valuable content and the algorithm says, let me try this audience. And that audience was not the audience it was meant for. And those people are really vicious in the comments to each other, to you, to what you're creating. It's a disaster. It's really hard to get back to the other side of the algorithm. So like tell your friends, get people to go comment, all those things. It's not really going to drag it back to the right side. So the best thing you can be doing is to create new content and get back on the right side with all the content. But how do you maintain that one video? Because you don't necessarily want to take it down. You could always delete it and post it a couple days later and try to hit a different audience. By all means, try that. That can work. But for the most part, as you're dealing with it, as it is happening, especially if you're hitting some of the right people and then some of the wrong people, the best things that you can be doing are not engaging. Don't talk to these people. It's not worth it. It is not worth the trolls being in your space or expending your energy. The best thing that you can do is report it if it's harassment. A lot of times it is, but sometimes it's not. So you have to be smart enough to decide what it is. If it's harassment, you need to report it. If it's something dangerous, you need to report it, or if it's just something you need to remove and block. The next step is to delete and block. Now, depending on which social platform you are on, you may have to do it in different orders. So if you go and like block somebody on TikTok, their comment still stays there, you just can't see it. So delete it first, then go and block that person. On YouTube, if you hide a user, that will block them, and the only person that can see that comment is them. So it's gonna remove it for everybody else, but it depends on which social platform you are on. So the best thing that you can do is to look at it and decide, is this something that needs to be reported for harassment or inappropriate content or whatever it is, and not just something that's mean-spirited, hurting my feelings, potentially hurting my community. Is it something that violates terms of service, or should be something that's reported to like authorities? If it is, report it. If it's bad enough, or if you're worried about it, take screenshots so that you have the proof later on, especially if you think authorities are going to need to be involved, if that goes down that path. Otherwise, we're just getting rid of these things. We don't need them there. Our community doesn't need to be exposed to that kind of thing. And I've talked a lot about how to decide if I leave a comment or if I delete a comment or if I report something or if I block somebody. I have those videos. You can check them out in the playlist. But you are going to have to make those decisions for yourself. We're not going to get too heavily into it today because there are other videos on that. But I want you to remove it so that your community does not have to deal with those feelings. Just because something is directed at you doesn't mean it's not going to have an impact on your community. Someone who identifies with you, who sees themselves in you, can take that personally, and that could be a bad thing. So thinking of your community and thinking of your own health, what do you need to do? Do you need to just delete it and move on? Typically, if it's like a troll, I don't want them to pop up in my space again. So I'll delete it and then I'll block that person so that they can't come back into my space. They're not going to see more of my content. They don't want to see my content anyway. And so that helps me to qualify my audience, which is really nice because then the algorithm knows more of who to send things to, who not to send things to, and I'm going to have a better engagement rate when I'm keeping people out that shouldn't be there. You also want to make sure, again, if you need to report something, that you are reporting it properly and then blocking them. And again, on these different social platforms, it's going to look different. Sometimes it's hide users, sometimes it's blocking people. Whatever it is, you are going to want to remove that content and then block them. You don't need to engage with them. You don't need to fire some witty comeback back. I know we all want to. We come up with a really good, really, sassy, fiery, spicy replies, and we want to call them out. And oftentimes we as humans will just want to, like if they're lobbing something at us, we want to lob something back. If they're trying to say something hurtful to us, we want to critique them. That's not going to work to your benefit. So try not to do that. If you feel like you have to do that, pop up a note on your phone and type it out. It feels good to type it out, man. Type that out. And then when you're done, you can let it sit there for a minute and then delete it. You can let it sit there for longer, but delete it. You got it out of your system and now you can just block that person. Or block them first and then go write the sassy response to make sure that you don't copy and paste it in there. Now you can, sometimes I do, you can, but remember, if it sends them that notification, because once you block them, it's not gonna do that. So if it sends it out before you block them, there are always screenshots. So don't say anything that you do not want to come back to haunt you later, because well, they probably aren't going to care enough to try to hunt you down and make you pay for some sassy little comment you made on the internet. It could resurface at some point. You don't want it to do that in the future. So be mindful of what you're saying. and do not engage with these people. The less you can engage with them, the better, because those people don't want a response from you. They just want to make you mad. They just want to troll you. They don't want to learn. They don't want to be educated. They don't want to come to a place of understanding. They're not trying to teach you anything. They're just trying to be mean. And engaging with them gives them more opportunities to try to hurt you again. Why are we doing that? Let's not waste our time. Your time is valuable. Your time is worth money. You can go use that same time to go make money so that you can do something fun. Get yourself an ice cream, go to the salon. You can go on a vacation. Okay, probably not in the time that it takes you to write a sassy comment, but like that time adds up where you can be making money to go do things. So go take on a new client. Go do another brand deal. Go do something. Go fire off an email to a company that you want to work with, in hopes that they'll pay you for a collaboration. Use that time productively. It's gonna feel a lot better in the long run and make you more money. So we're not letting the trolls take our time and our time that translates into money. And we're making sure that we are, again, reporting anything that's dangerous to us, to our community, or to the community in general. And we wanna make sure that we are blocking people. Just block them. And if you're like me, if you've evolved to the point where things no longer hurt you, that sometimes takes a really long time in business to get there. But when you get there, ooh, elite status, you want to screenshot these things and keep them in a folder. I label mine hate. It's just hate, but the hate that people spew. And I keep them there, and then I sometimes use them in videos. It's fun. It's kind of fun to like be able to pull those out. I blur their names so that people can't identify them. And then I use them in videos. So I do kind of get the last say. If you have questions, go ahead and let me know down below. And if you've got a troll, if you've got trolls, if you find yourself on the wrong side of the internet, I'm so sorry. We've all been there. I know it's awful. It's horrible. You can stop the comments if you need to. You can get your friends to come in and leave some good comments so it's not all bad comments. Delete the things as they come in. Pay attention. Pay attention. Don't let them sit there. And block people if you need to. And then you have the option of creating more content to get back on the right side. And you have the option of deleting or privating that video and trying again in a few days when you could hit a different audience. I always proactively recommend taking your content that you've already created and repurposing it a couple months later. So just wait a little bit, wait a couple weeks, and post it again, and you'll probably hit the right audience this time. If you are on the bad side of TikTok, Instagram, or YouTube, I'm with you in solidarity. I'm here to support you. If you're having a rough day, go ahead and leave a comment down below and we will commiserate together. I will be here to support you. I'll go leave a nice comment on your video. Drop it, or well, you can't drop links on my comments here, but you can shoot me a DM or an email if we're chatting in the comments, and I'll come and support you. I wish you all the best of luck. I know it's not fun to be on the wrong side of an algorithm, but you can get through this. It'll probably only last for that one video, and then you can move on from there. Questions, comments, drop them down below. And in the upcoming videos, we're gonna help you to continue to navigate to make this your most profitable year ever with the least amount of stress possible, because your business is working on your behalf while you're off living your best life. We'll see you in the upcoming episodes.